Hello everyone, this is MaffumanCasting, the StarCraft Star Battle. We got a 6-on-6 shipbuilding action game starring BMW Sucks. BMW Sucks is going to start off with Warp, and that gets him all the way up to... wait for it, there. Which is a little bit further than there. It works. Shelf going to come on in. Shelf's got that 1.71 speed, got the 2 TAC fighters to farm. In the very beginning, I guess if you use TAC fighters, it's one-shot farming at 2 investment, only, 25 plus 30 bucks. Instead of 4 lasers to upgrade. Commander Kurt got those friggin' backlash rockets upgraded. We got Dijon with a Jackson's Revenge, which is basically just a dreadnought, but fancier. No actual statistical difference. Just maybe he won a tournament, something like that. We got a Get OSC. Come on in. Get OSC's got those missiles. We saw a Plague from Agrippa. Because he's an overlord. Sunslinger coming on in. He's got 5 burst lasers to farm. It looks like Siren. 10 damage, 1 upgrade, but 9 range. 9 range is a lot. It's pretty darn long. And it's actually going to take up a whole bunch of damage guys in the tank. 1-2 people who are shooting missiles at him. Siren donates some shields. You transfer your own shields to your allies as a Raven, and that's what he's doing. Little sharing is caring right there. Sunslinger trying to figure out if he can take on a VC by himself, and the answer is he cannot. 2 VCs as well. And the Raven is basically just there as a support ship. Agrippa really wants to press that Plague button, but he ain't got the energy for it, so that was sort of it looks scarier than it was. Latrius coming on in with Plague as well. Overloads basically always get Plague. Plague is just like the bread and butter, the potatoes, the salad part of the salad. The refried beans inside of everybody's tacos. Basically what I'm trying to say is we all get Plagued. Plague is great. We got Get OSC pushing on up, trying to stay in the gas. Looks like Dragon going to be right there as well. He's got he's got a burst laser right there. Burst laser is going to be pretty decent. Everybody's staying in the gas to try to farm. We got Latrius turning in. Plague, boom, Shelf, taking it. Can't really use attack fighters if you're getting hit there. Sunslinger, Gunner, retreat. Getting helped by his buddy. 1.81 speed, great. 263, we'll see what he ends up spending it on. Agrippa, right there. Now again, you start off with 225 energy no matter what, and you have to upgrade, and every time you upgrade it costs more money. Boom, wait, no, click. Right there. He upgraded twice, so it's 35. And it's achievement, gonna push on in. BMW Sef's got those 5 upgrades on you, Sef is really good at farming. Looks like Dijon's gonna try to retreat, moonwalk back. The Plague is being used. Dragon, you gotta move. You got 1.71 speed, but if you're not moving, you ain't doing nothing right there. Because momentum is important. It takes a little bit of time to get your ship to actually go up that way. And so it looks like we're gonna push on back. We got Ironton moving on up. We got a secret missile on the Raven as well, and that connects. It does. We got Ironton pushing on up. We got Dragon taking a whole bunch of damage. We see it taken out, and he is Ironton. Also, right there, he does blink on out of there, and that was a great pickup from the blue side. And it's achievement, switching around. We got Ironton doing a whole bunch of damage. He didn't upgrade his prismatic beam at all because he was just farming, but he was in the right place at the right time with the right allies, with secret missile as well. Boom, Plague, Agrippa, punishing Get OSC for trying to do some extra damage or farm. Because all you need is to get within the 9 range of Plague, and it will plague you. He's going to move on back. He's going to get hurt, especially because Iron Tooth is pushing on up. Any additional damage you can do is always good. Force them to go back to base. Shelf, Dijon, Get OSC, Kurt, all in the fall colors. BMW Sex moving on in. He's got he upgraded his interceptors, 13. He started off with 5. Put as much money into them as possible. Basically, carriers, the way of doing damage to capital ships, to interceptors, to farm. It's all interceptors. All interceptors all the time. Because they have lasers, but they're not really like that far, and they're only, we're going to do some damage, kind of like personal defense lasers. Overload, moving back. I'm going to call them overloads instead of overlords. I don't know why. Can't do it. Everybody's moving on back. It looks like, kind of Revolutionary War style. They're all moving back together. Agrippa and Latrius saying, hey, can we have shields? And he, Sunslinger says no, because you ain't got no shields. Zerg ships don't have shields, so they can't get shield transfer. If they had like 1, they could actually try to do it, but they can't. They ain't got it. Jackson's Revenge, doing damage. 7 upgrades on his Gatling cannons. If he gets within 8 range, you're going to start feeling some pain. Shelf right there. Ooh, Shelf is a nuke. Shelf is a nuke. He's gotten plagued, but, you know, that's an interesting choice. Nuke does a 6,000 damage, and let's look at this ship composition. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 relatively, you know, weak ships. They're not like tanks. Plus the 1 tank is relatively slow. That makes sense. However, Void Rays can blink. Other ships are relatively quick. Not right now, but it can be 1.81 speed. And since the nuke only goes about 1.81 speed, that's, you know, it's sort of a question of whether you can actually be in the right place at the right time. Railgun being used. Sky Furies just trying to farm. You know, they're just spawned by the house. Red side staying in the Goldilocks zone. Looks like they're gonna try to get their money up as much as possible, even though they only have you know, 5 ships right now. Nobody's coming back because there's no respawn. And it looks like you know, the red side is getting on back. They were trying to farm. He wants to just, you know, use his laser batteries. Let's see the money thing situation. We got 318. We got 800. Wow. Commander Kurt taking damage 255. Get over C, 248, 590 from Shelf. So Shelf and BMW Sex had the money on their side, and you know, it's just a question of like how much you can only spend it back at base. So it's, you know, you have to actually get there first. Commander Kurt was trying to farm up as much as possible before that happened. Looks like everybody's there. Commander Kurt just pushing on up. Now there's a little bit dangerous. You know, Gripper wants to, like, you know, use his side blast and plague on them. And if you get within the 8 range, Gatling cannons are still pretty decent. He upgraded the health. He went for the health upgrade, so he has a little bit less upfront damage and shield and armor. But you know, that's not bad to get, as opposed to 940. So, you know, see 1020, 920. We got BMW Sex. We got that Vortex. Vortex in 1.71 speed, so we can try to get around. Let's see. We got Larius. The entire blue side sort of staying in stereo, staying together for the kids. We got an NSH human. Ooh, we got an EMP. Actually, I think it may or may not have hit him. Let's see, who was that from? Siren. Siren. Whether he knows it or not, there is a nuke on the field. Sometimes you can't see when you click on somebody what they have. You just see their lower numbers right here. So you have to kind of guess what they have by what they're not showing you. If you haven't seen a Yamato, if you haven't seen something else, and they don't have very much missiles or you know, anything else, well, what do they have then? We got Yamato Tomato Cannon from Get OSC. 125 does 1,800 damage. Vortex being used. Shelf escaping with his life. It looks like we got the Vortex got both the Dreadnought as well as an Overlord. Sunslinger launching his Set It and Forget It secret missile. 22 seconds, chases, and does 2620 damage. So that's great. And it looks like Shelf is in the right place for the nuke. The nuke is going to be launched. The Yamato being hit. And he's a chin taking the nuke. We got a Siren charging shields and ooh, defensive matrix. Probably the reason why NCH limps back to base. We get 2 buddies as well as defensive matrix. Defensive matrix surrounds the target with a shield that will reduce most hits to the minimum damage. The shield is not perfect and some hits will leak, less causing full damage. I think it's like 90%-ish. So there's a 90% compliance rate. That's pretty great. And that was the reason why the blue side is still at 6. And we do see, you know, Iron Tid back there. We're going to keep an eye on the Void Ray. The red side knows the Void Ray is not attacking them, right? But they don't necessarily always know where he is. But the question is, will they decide to attack him? Looks like he's going to go back. He's got almost 900 monies. Let's see what he ends up spending it on. Again, when you choose to upgrade something, it starts off at 25, and then every time you upgrade, it gets more expensive. So it's 5 phase disruptors, so they're going to cost 50. Looks like he upgraded from charge. We're going to kind of sneak and see. There we go. And it looks like the blue side's going to not be able to fully commit to an attack. Overload moving in. Whoa, Bobby Hill, that's my person. I don't know you, button. Pushing him away with Psionic Shockwave. Luckily, Shelf had defensive shield. There's no healers on the red side at all, but he used his own defensive shield, giving him extra life. But he can't use it right now because he's in the blackout right now. Iron Tid being cloaked. Iron Tid with about you know, trying to make it back. Now Shelf wants to make it to the gas so we can get a little bit of non-vision right there. If he can make it back, he possibly can. Iron Tid, does he have enough energy? No, he's not having enough energy to maintain cloak. Ooh, BMW sucks. Used Vortex. It did hit Ghetto SC. It also hit the Dreadnought on the other side, and look at that shooting from Plasma Barrage. What? That wasn't enough. We got Ironton making it out with his life, I think because of the defensive shield right there being used. Ironton also getting home from his friends, but that was a way of doing it. The BMW Sucks upgraded 2 pretty expensive abilities, Vortex as well as Plasma Barrage, and it just because of the defensive matrix was not enough to finish off the Void Ray. The Void Ray is going to limp on back to base. He wants to maybe help, but he really can't go back. I mean, he can look back and give him like moral support, but he can't like go back and take any more damage. He's really low. We got double Plagues. Now, Plague is a great offensive weapon, and it will do damage over time, but it's just over time. 1, 2, 3 missile boats will be able to sustain a bunch of damage more effectively than just waiting for Plague every 100. It looks like the red side's going to have to move on back. They really wanted to pick up a kill. They really wanted to do something, but they really kind of couldn't. 639, 66, womp womp. 504, Commander Kurt, 287, and about 560. Looks like they're going to launch a couple Interceptors more. Going to do whatever you can. Interceptors are at 15, so they do 42 damage, have 7.5, and have 70 shield, 70 health. 15 is a decent number for the carrier Interceptors to be, but he had to basically choose to put his money somewhere. Vortex, 200. We got Plasma Barrage, I think it's like 175, and you can upgrade it more and more. And he did, I think, maybe 3 times. I think it's like, so that's a whole bunch. Basically, what I'm trying to say is you can't just spend money on everything all the time. So he had to kind of choose. 1.82 speed gets expensive as well. All worth it, but he has to kind of like choose what he wants to put his money and at what time. Dejan moving in. Dejan's got protective field. He's also got explosive charge. Meh. It's not my favorite, but I see why some people like it. But Parabots and protective field are like peanut butter jelly. Of course you're going to get it. We got Ghetto SC. It does have lockdown, and that's going to help with Ironton right there. Dejan was in the correct position, but luckily that blink was just enough to get on out of there. Latrius using that. Ooh, using the GAC on him as well. EMP. So basically, he was pulling out all the stops, pressing all the buttons, using all of the abilities to try to stop them right there. Because what they don't have is they don't have a missile boat. Beautiful blackout on 1-2 ships right there. Definitely going to help him retreat. Agrippa launching that side blast. Every time he has energy, he wants to use it, but he has 3 abilities, so he can't use it all the time. So we got more like a magic intensive team. So basically what the red side has is like sustained damage, missiles, over doing that, as opposed to more fancy abilities. Not everybody has abilities, obviously, clearly. But let's say BMW Sucks went for Tempests. Okay, so Tempests are great. They are fantastic to use because they are far distance siege weapons. You can't control who they're shooting, but basically anybody within this area is going to get hurt. Ironton using the cloak because he does not want to get too close. And Latrius, you're going to take a whole bunch of damage. You're going to get shot by both that as well, and he has to move on out of there. And it looks like, again, the Tempests are good at doing long distance damage, very good against Void Rays, very good against Ravens, a little bit less good against Overlords because they do have Meteorisk, but you have to get pretty close to use your Meteorisk still. Of course, the only person who can take damage is kind of forced to in that case. But they do just cost so much money. And that's where the Interceptors are staying at 15. Basically more for farming than for, getting sneaky killed or something like that. Looks like the energy war is on. Now, there's no real way for the red side to win an energy fight. By that I mean like everybody draining each other's energy. They only have 2 BCs. BCs can get locked down. But 1, 2 Ravens, 1, 2 Overlords, and technically Void Rays as well could all drain energy. But it's still somewhat helpful to do if you can lock down at the right time. Ironton trying to farm. I mean, that's what he's going to try to do. He's going to use the savior strategy. Basically, side farm, come out rich, and burn people down eventually. It's a strategy. It's a strategy that people use. I understand it. It does feel good to come in and save people, but it just takes so long. You have to get your side farm correct. And while that's happening, it's effectively a 5 versus 5. Tempest, right there. Upgraded 10 times. They're still going to die. They still only have, 100 shields and 200 life. You can't upgrade that part of it. But they just do more damage, and you can upgrade how far they shoot as well. Got the Jackson's Revenge. Who's got the gag? There we go. Contaminate. Contaminate slows down all enemy units in the target area, reducing their attack speed by 50%. Affects units will take small damage over time and lasts for 20 seconds. It's super great against missile boats. It slows down how fast they're shooting because the blue side has burst damage. They have plague, they have side blast and seeker missiles. They don't really have a sustained damage of like just every 4 seconds you're getting missiles in the face, especially from Commander Kirk. Ooh, Beach Ball of Sadness. Irontid though is locked down right now. Shelf using he has his defensive matrix. He has I think a shield, not matrix. Can we see pushing on up? And looks like the blue side rallies around, tries to stay in the gas. And Tempest are just going to move on up lazily. BMW's X moving on up. He's got enough energy for Vortex. He can't warp in any more Tempests, even though he has 225 energy, because that would just be broken. You're only allowed to make Tempests when you don't have any more Tempests. You can't just like sit back, spawn out like 30 Tempests and just raffle stomp people. And it looks like the blue side's gonna be retreating. They're not very hurt right now, so just trying to like spend that money. Irontid gonna have to take a bunch of damage as well. And Sunslinger's just gonna figure out what he wants to do. And the Tempests are really just helping them stay in this Goldilocks zone for a little bit longer than usual. Will they be taken out? Of course, eventually. Doesn't want to take it? Oh, okay. So his achievement didn't want to be hit by mine, but Latris is like, it's fine, I'm an overlord. Who also wants to tank. Why not? Shelf taking damage, Agrippa pushing up, using that side blast. 1380. As opposed to 88 times 6. Somebody do math for me. 102 times 7. That's actually a little bit closer to math I can do. Jackson's Revenge moving on out of there. Red side again, they don't have anybody who can like heal them. So they don't have anybody who can transfer shields or anything like that. Get OC and Shelf could get Bio Steel and the insurance policy, but do they have it right now? I'm not necessarily sure. Looks like Vortex was used. EMP is used on Get OSC. And PDD, now that's a way to block missiles. Let's see, it looks like Tempests are coming on it. It looks like Jackson's Revenge is right there. Shelf has energy for the nuke. Will he ever use it? He uses a scanner sweep? Okay, there's no void race in the area. Will he launch the nuke? He does. Is it going to take out his achievement? It possibly kind of could hurt him a lot. Irontid taking damage. Nuke did hit. Get OSC in the area. He has no defensive shield, and he's also blacked out at the moment. And it looks like he's going to move on back 1.82 speed. He has 1.82 speed, and he has 28 armor. Armor on a battle cruiser is a thing that exists. Will that be enough to get him back? It was. It was just enough. Yeah, he's saying scan, but Scanner Sweep's cooldown takes forever. So he couldn't do it. Get OC. Ooh, now he has Biosteel. He does have Biosteel. He has Biosteel and armor. So, battle cruiser is actually a class of ship that can get armor. It's tankier than a frigate. Frigates are there for far distance damage dealing. Battle cruisers are more rounded in that sense of they can get armor. Most people don't get 8 though. Shelf moving up. Shelf wants to use that lockdown. He says, I'm angry at this void ray for trying to kill my buddy, and he's gonna get played. Sorry, womp womp. Does get scared away. Now, if you're wondering, he cannot lock down the Agrippa and Latrius because they are Zerg ships, and lockdown only works against mechanical units. So, there's basically no way of draining Overlord energy. That's why they got 575 and 450 respectively. Dejan moving up. Dejan's got repair bots, and he's kind of just expecting to get energy drained. He has 375. The two main things that he has, protective field and repair bots and storage. We have not seen Siege. Let's see if we do see Siege. Whoa, buddy, BMW sucks if you get hit. Ooh. If BMW sucks had been shot while he was warping, he would have stopped warping. The entire blue side was around him. And that would have been a pickup, and a fantastic one at that. Irontid getting lockdown. Lockdown right there. If this Jackson's Revenge turns, he could take him, he would hurt him right there. Ooh, defensive shield being used. Defensive shield being used, and it will be possibly enough. We're going to keep an eye on the Void Ray. Void Ray getting hurt. Oh, defensive shield again. Number 2 defensive shield. More and more PDD being used, and boom! Bobby Hill again, away from me button. That's my person. I do not know you. We got Jackson the Revenge moving back. And that was a way of saving the Void Ray right there. Vortex being used on somebody. On their friendly DC. Maybe that was a strategy. It wasn't. That's okay. We got Jackson the Revenge moving on up. Showing the power of defensive shield as well as PDD. Blocking missiles in the area, blocking damage that's in the area, and what are they really going to do about it? Not much, because they have lockdown. It's the best they can possibly do, but that's not a guarantee that you can always use it when you need it. Ironton, now not dead, coming back. Get OSC, now in the danger zone. Scanner Sweep being used. Oh, BMW starts launching his plasma barrage, and it just runs out. He upgraded to the point where I think if you just press the button, you shoot until you stop shooting, which was kind of like the Cyclone in Perfect Dark, which was always really fun, wasting 50 shots just to press one button. That was a great violent game, which we all survived. We got Ghetto SC being hurt. Now he has Biosteel with 34 armor, so what he's trying to do is basically be a Zerg ship. He just really wants to be a Zerg ship. He identifies as a Zerg ship. Because he basically can repair himself in combat. Got some armor. He is, he has decent missiles and lockdown. So what he's trying to do is just survive and use the lockdown to hurt people. Shelf has got the lockdown as well. We got more abilities. BMW sucks. The Tempests are just going to have to, take damage and die. Red Stack going to move on back. Let's see the money situation. We got 472, 205. Commander Kurt, 125, 141, and Shelf trying to get a little bit more money right now because he only has about 350. But the scouts making that a little bit harder. The scouts are just auto spawned and basically take more shots to kill. BMW sucks. Tempest, boom. Him being Tempest, hey, it's not a bad idea. It does drain all their shields. Plague being used whenever possible. Ironton actually using his defensive cloak. He's pretty much forced to use cloak because even though he has upgraded his shields quite a bunch, 1425 is not that much damage mitigation. Basically, the 10,000 shields that he has is the only thing keeping him alive. After that, 5,000 doesn't have very much armor. So let's see if they're going to help me siege tower. Now, siege tanks is a way of doing damage at a far distance. Well, it's, kind of like Tempest. So basically you have double damage at a far distance. Ladders in the wrong place at the wrong time, taking a whole bunch of damage as from Ghetto SC, as well as missile boats, as well as more and more DMP being used, defensive matrix being used, PDDs all over the place. Ghetto SC pushing, but taking a whole bunch of damage. He only has so much. He's actually burning down because of plague. But he has okay, so he has the fire suppression system. Oh my god, 670! Any more damage he would be taken out, and usually he'd be burning down right now. But because he upgraded the fire suppression system, he's not, and he's actually bio-healing right now. Now, if this Void Ray gets found, or if he finds Ghetto, he's going to take him out. Shelf kind of knows he's in this area, but let's see if we can go to the Shelf Cam. The Shelf Cam, yeah. He does not see this Void Ray. Now he does. And, looks like he's trying to go for a Void Ray chase to the red side. If we look at our little, mini-map, is also trying to chase on in. And it looks like they are going to keep right there. We're going to actually keep an eye on the Void Ray. And if the Void Ray stays cloaked, then he's not going to get shot. But if... Oh, beautiful. Everybody, moving on in. We got NS Achievement coming on in as well. Shelf and Ironton running out of space, being locked down. Agrippa using the get away from me button. Nuke being launched against a Void Ray, and it works because he didn't get on out of there. Why aren't you taking so much damage? And Shelf pushed it off. Vortex being used. Latrius in the wrong place at the wrong time. The siege being used. He's going to move his little butt closer. And Latrius barely making it out of there. Actually might burn down-ish. These Tempests are kind of moving in the area. Shelf being using his scanner sweep and Void Ray in the defensive shield. With so little left. any more damage in right there. And Maffuman taking a whole bunch of damage as well, and PDD being used to block everything. BMW sucks, launching everything that they possibly can. Fire everything! We gotta get OSC pushing up, and somehow the blue side stays alive. 1, 2, 3. Ships burning, but no ships dead. The power of PDD. Oh, the humanity. We got Latrius staying alive. Ironkid staying alive. And Maffuman staying alive. Now, I guess what's happening is because the red side was not able to kill somebody, the blue side was staying alive. They are trying to push up on this tower. He's a little bit out of the range right there. So he's trying to turtle walk it up there. He's literally moving at like 1.61 minus 1.41 speed. He's like really turtle timing it out there. Ironkid using the cloak. He's got 220 energy. It's not actually that long of shield and cloak. Get OSC launching damage. Latrius taking a whole bunch of damage. The Tempests were taking out Jackson's Revenge, getting on out of that siege mode. They weren't quite able to put the Warp Prison into the health right there. It looks like the second round of Tempest is going to be up. BMW sucks. Has 550 energy, but Tempests are super energy intensive. So is Vortex. So is everything else that he's trying to do. So 550 energy is a lot, but now that he's used it, he has to kind of like retreat. These Tempests will be taking out 24 upgrades, 300 to structures, and 6 something odd to everybody else. Dejan trying to be there. He wants to get within that 8 range. He can't upgrade his, even though he upgraded his laser battery range, you can't upgrade your Gatling cannon range. It just doesn't work. So he has to get within 8 range to do his main thing. Dreadnoughts are basically all about position. It looks like the red side is going to have to retreat. Blue side going to push on up. BMW side's, wait, who are these? Broodlords? Broodlords coming in, because I guess one of them, yep, right there, has Storm Command. Double Storm Command? Sure. BMW sucks running away. Vortex being used. Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss on the Vortex. But it did scare them. I mean, it made them move away. You know, they didn't end up killing them, so it's not a full miss. It looks like a Prismatic Beam trying to use. Again, he just really has to rely on Cloak to get close. Because 10 upgrades on the Backlash Rockets. We got 8 upgrades on the Longboat Missiles. Basically thousands of damage if they just get within range, and he has to get within 8 range to use his Prismatic Beam. Looks like blue side's going to try to farm on up. Ooh, okay. Plague misses. It's an area of effect, AoE damage, and BMW sucks. Moved on out of there. 1.82 speed is super zippy for a carrier, and it costs as much. I mean, I think that is the $400 speed upgrade, but I think it's worth it. You could try to do it again, but that it costs $800, so there's limited chance he's going to want to like prioritize 1.92 speed over whatever else he's going to put in there, especially when you got Tempest. Tempest are hungry hippos. They love money, they love being fed, and they love doing damage at a far distance, which is super helpful because Sunslinger and the Siren, as well as Ironkid, cannot launch any interceptors. Even if interceptors are not really the most helpful for, taking out capital ships, they are good against, farming and siege and stuff like that. I think that nuke was launched, but the EMP happened just in time. So actually, it did not count as launched. There's a certain time period where you can actually get it back there, or that it counts. It looks like Dejan is now within definitely the range. 1470 every 2.7 seconds to try to punish this tower. What they're trying to do is take out that tower. These Tempests can not be told where who to shoot. They're going to shoot who's in the area. Grippa is going to launch his thing. And it's just giving enough time right there. Gonna see launching some attack fighters, whatever. And this tower is so close to dying. The lockdown was used right there to take Sunslinger out of commission for a second. And that's where it is. Even though they're not going to win the energy war all the time, the lockdown was used at the right time to take on that. And it's a G-Man trying to say, hey, you got siege, I got siege. Ironkid trying to do some damage. Blackout, perfect blackout. 1, 2, 3, 4 ships. Looks like They are there, and if Iron Tear was right there, he could possibly burn them down. I mean, nobody can detect him right there, and Vortex would be the only thing that could save them. So it looks like they are going to get on back out of there. They're going to huddle up. They're going to, you know, hug it out and say, okay, we made it. We got 394, we got 317, 362, 777, and 501. The call is for 2 nukes. Call me Johnny 2 nukes. I mean, you know, nobody's saying the frigate should get, you know, button missiles. Wow. Okay, so he's got, like, plasma shields, and basically that is kind of expected as a frigate, which is a little bit weird, because Terran ships get a health as well as armor bonus every time that they upgrade armor, but they only get a, you know, shield increase, so 500 extra shields, without an associated armor on those shields, kind of like this carrier. Not a great example, but he only upgraded it twice, but every time he upgrades his shields, he not only gets extra shield health, he also gets armor for that, so Vordre would be a better choice. Should have chosen 15.5. Dejan moving up. Dejan taking damage. He's just basically expecting to get drained at all times. You know, you really just can't walk around all of these energy draining abilities and not get drained. If looks like they blue side does retreat in time though, and what they know is that they can't heal these overlords. So the overlords are pretty susceptible to that. BMW Sucks is being targeted by Ironton, being a beautiful vortex right there. And the entire red side is all around them. Will they drain energy? Possibly. We got Shelf, who does have Scanner Sweep, but taking a whole bunch of damage with Grippos. Launching his 225. Oh no. It looks like Shelf's gonna push on up. Shelf's gonna do it up. They're gonna take him out. Blackout, double blackout. Redundancy blackouts right there. Shelf taking a whole bunch of damage. Ironton trying to hit on Shelf right there, and will he make it back out of there? There's nobody can drain it right now. The BMW Sucks launching as much damage as possible, and will he take him out? They do. Ironton is taken out by BMW Sucks with 1 health. With 1 health, Shelf makes it back. 1 health, Shelf. That's what we're gonna call him from now on. He had the anti-burn down abilities. The Grippa taken out and Ironton taken out as well. BMW Sucks, the interceptors are right there. Latrius, right there. He's like, oh no, this is not the right place for me. Get OSC launching his tomato cannon. Now the defensive matrix is used right there. But that's why you always gotta buy the insurance policy. Get OSC not sponsored by any insurance company because I make no money off this channel. You cannot demonetize somebody who makes no money. We got Commander Kurt shooting stuff. Means I can say anything I want. Titty sprinkles. We got Sunslinger trying to do some damage. We got basically, I mean, the Ravens are there for like burst and fancy abilities, but they really can't like sustain much. And all they can do is shoot burst lasers. And it's a human moving on out. On lockdown. Ooh, Sunslinger taking a whole bunch of damage. Get OC pushing up. PDD being used. PDD basically is a great way of going around the battlecruiser's missile abilities. Latry is taken out? How did I miss Latry being taken out by BMW Sucks? Looks like I guess the interceptors, yeah, 33, because now he's been able to put in enough that basically everything is a lot of money. Super damaging. And it looks like the siege is being set up. And with that, it looks like this tower is going to be taken out. Really no way of defending that so much right there. Siren unable to push up too much. The Jackson's Revenge, Dreadnought, as well as these Tempests moving on up. Gonna push them into there. Now what they're gonna do is make it a long game. They're gonna have it in siege mode as well. So basically, who's got the longer siege? 19 range versus 17 range. 19's bigger, yay! So it's just a question of whether they can actually push them up. BMW Sucks is gonna push. These Tempests are at 19 range as well. And it looks like they're gonna say that that's okay to take damage. We're gonna see if BMW Sucks can move on up, and he's got the Vortex, but he does not decide to use it. And it looks like Dejan's just gonna take a bunch of damage. Shelf saying, you know, I can take damage, it's just, you know, not what he really wants to do. Interceptors are doing so much work, and boom, taking out Siren. Because Mothership, once you take out the 2 towers, no longer shoots at interceptions. I think this is going to be GG right here with the nuke being hit. Boom. Ace Achievement taking out Sunslinger, also participating. The God of the Mothership taking a whole bunch of damage and sustained damage from this will burn it down. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure you press like, press subscribe to StarCraft Star Battle all the time, and send your replays to MaffumanCasting@gmail.com to watch your games here. 5, 4, boom, right there.